oh, just let me oh.
That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me oh, just let me oh.
Presence. Presence seems ubiquitous with watches nowadays. This wasn't always the case, but today we're going to investigate the subject using Rolex and the introduction of the Supercase as a focal point. First, I would like to thank Brian LP for today's video suggestion. He always brings interesting points into the conversation, and this is a great topic. I'm really enjoying these discussions, so if you would like any of your thoughts brought to light about watches by a designer, please post some comments about a topic below and I will write them up. So, the Supercase, the bane to many Rolex enthusiasts. To begin, I'll start by saying that this trend of scaling up watch sizes is not new. As we know, the trend began in the late 80s and early 90s. Panerai was a huge name and was highly sought after because of this trend. Audemars Piguet had just released their offshore lines of watches at the time. It wasn't until 2010, almost 10 years ago now, that Rolex introduced the Supercase with their coveted Submariner line of watches. Now, I'm not going to run through the entire line of Submariners from beginning to end. I think the discussion can be centered predominantly around the 5-digit references and the 6-digit references. Up until the 90s, when the 14060 was released, the Submariner line of watches had been produced almost identically since the late 50s. That is mind-blowing if you think about it. The 5512, the 5513, the 1680, the 16800, the 14060, the 16610, all of these models look exactly the same to those who know nothing about watches. All of these models were incrementally improved until finally the Supercase explosion happened. Now we can actually sit back and say that the introduction to the 6-digit reference Submariners was the first major change to the line since the 5512. 50 years happened in between then and now. Let that settle in for a moment. But this is not the first time in that period where there was an increase in the watch's case size. We all know that vintage Submariners are highly collectible today. Amongst some of the oldest references, we have two that are extremely sought after, those being the Comex Submariners and Sea Dwellers and the Mil Subs. The military Submariner, an elusive unicorn, an absolute dream of a watch, was given to the British Navy in the 70s in a very small supply. These models were based on the 5513 with a twist. You can call these categories of Submariners the prototypes, and were given the serials of either 5514 or 5517, extremely rare. The requirements for these watches were different. Returning back to the military sub, the watch was given maxi markers on the dial, sword hands and an arrow seconds hand, secured spring bars into the case, increased knurling on the bezel, and fatter lugs for the purpose of added strength and rigidity. So arrived the original maxi case. Nowadays, you can still find excellent examples of maxi-case Submariners on the market for ridiculous prices, obviously. All usually have serial numbers linked to the 5513 series of watches. But in any case, it is an interesting bit of trivia relating back to our current scenario with watch cases. Rolex approached the idea of making their watches bigger the correct way. They did it smartly. They increased the case width but left the watch's diameter the same. In my wearing experience, the watch has a greater visual difference. It does feel heavier on the wrist, but like its 5-digit cousin, soon it blends into the wrist and you forget you're wearing it. The million-dollar question is why this was done in the first place. Now you will get to hear how a designer would rationalize this. The introduction to the 6-digit reference Submariner was a big event. It was a big change. The watch now came with a new movement, new alloys of steel, new bezel inserts and improved mechanics like a glide lock clasp, and an increased size of the dial, indices and hands. This watch needed to make a statement, and at the time, to differentiate it further from its predecessors, the idea of making it a bit fatter would have been an excellent idea. So what do bigger lugs communicate? It says that the watch is more robust. The watch could be seen as more of a tool watch with a bulkier aesthetic. And honestly, it does work if you clear your head of the older references. But what else? Keep in mind that high-quality watches are not consumables. They aren't used for a week and thrown away. They are products intended to last a lifetime. So why would I make the lugs bigger on a watch like this? It's simple. Not only are you adding more metal to the watch, providing the customer with a more substantial product for the money, but also for the sake of the watch's longevity. Rolex has always had phenomenal customer service. You can send a watch in and have it returned to you looking brand new, but vintage sports watches have taught them that they can only survive up to and around 3 polishings in their lifetime before their lugs are virtually paper thin. To counteract that, providing more metal allows the watch to be worn, used, and polished twice as much as before. This philosophy goes hand in hand with the ceramic bezel that will never fade and a dial that will never patina. These watches, though they lack the character of their vintage parents, are more bulletproof than they have ever been. In the end, we can chalk up the reason for the increase down to Rolex wanting to make their watches last longer, while at the same time bridging the gap into the modern era. But here's the thing. These bigger versions are great. But even so, the moment I see a 5-digit reference sub again, I want to put it on. Because visually, they just look more attractive. They feel more designed, which is sad because I am fully aware that a lot more thinking and planning went into developing the modern references. See how difficult design is. This has already been discussed at length by others, but I do believe that watches will be returning to smaller sizes in the future. The increased size might have just been a fad. Thanks to the attention that vintage watches are receiving now, companies are now getting a better understanding that we would like the ability to choose between small, mid-tier and large sizes of watches. And just looking at the way the new Pepsi GMT has had its lugs tapered down recently, we might be seeing a new change and another chapter opening in the modern genre of Rolex sports watches. My prediction for a new line of Submariners? Tapered cases and improved movements. My quick mock-ups harken back to the elements that I love in the vintage pieces. A tapered case, small crown guards, bigger crown. The bezel has been cleaned up. The end links are smooth and integrated with the case, using a more traditional link configuration. The dial has 2 lines of text. And for you eagle-eyed viewers, the triangle at the 12 o'clock is elongated, harkening back to the maxi dials. And then, maybe throw in a spot of blue for good measure. A guy can only dream, right?